Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of DGT Live. We're coming at you from the Central Coast of California, live and in charge. I'm Leo, along with Rick and
Francisco.
Welcome back to the show,
I'm
buddy.
back.
What's going on?
Oh man,
Too sweet, man.
I thought I wasn't gonna be allowed to be back. Thank you guys. Yeah,
Do the Too Sweet, man.
What's this?
No sabe.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Baby metal.
Bullet Club. Too sweet, man.
All
Too
right,
sweet.
Cool.
Is
cool
he on there?
beans.
Did he switch over there? Is that
What? Who?
what was his name?
Nash?
Yeah,
Nash and Hall?
yeah.
Triple H.
No,
That's
no,
all
it's
I
the Bullet
remember.
Club. It's a different thing.
Okay.
It's a different thing.
But they still
Hardy
do the
Boys.
two.
But they do the Too Sweet. They own.
Okay.
They actually trademarked the Too
Wow.
Sweet. So they go Too Sweet to all their fans, and they have the little wolves kiss each other.
baby
Little
metal.
wolf.
That's the way I see it. I don't think it's
Baby
supposed to be a little wolf, but hey,
Cool.
yeah,
Awesome.
we like pro wrestling here on
Yeah,
DGT.
I
We don't
guess.
cover it
Huh?
most of the time, even though WrestleMania is right around the corner.
I'm neutral.
You know what? I'm gonna make a WrestleMania Furious 5
Oh snap!
coming up pretty soon.
Oh dang!
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
Oh,
Cool.
Yeah, so
All right.
I mean, I don't know.
So what's up, dudes?
Ah, man.
Glad to be
Had a
back.
good week. Had a great week. Happy Easter to you guys.
Oh, that's
He's-
right.
Happy
that was
Easter.
This weekend, huh?
He's been
You know?
missed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Res-
thanks, bro.
AJ
R.I.P.
Bishop's watching. Nora's watching. What's
R.I.P.
going on, everybody? Too sweet.
Too sweet. I don't know, but I don't know about that. But
You don't know about that?
I don't know. It's cool, I guess.
Well, I'll educate you later.
All right.
And once the
Sure.
show is over and we get everything over with, I'll educate you on,
All right.
on the Bullet
He's
Club.
gonna beat some knowledge into
Oh,
you,
snap.
literally.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us, remember to write down any of your comments, questions, or concerns.
Hey, look at that, guys.
Yeah, we will be.
There. Right here.
Yes,
You
you
know,
will be
you
seeing.
could have
your
easily
questions will
turned
be
to the
seen, all
right.
that good stuff
There you go.
up there.
There you go.
You know, and we will. This is a live show,
Somewhere
so we will
there.
be reacting live here
Yeah,
and answering questions.
And we'll
if we
talk to
can.
you. We're happy to talk to you.
We
It's always fun.
definitely.
definitely.
Look, AJ Bishop saying, finally, Pancho's back.
I like.
He's been missed.
I like how Leo totally ignored that I already mentioned that
He did.
comment earlier.
You did? I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I'm on another planet right now.
The show.
Planet Leo.
Planet Leo.
For shame.
So what do we have today,
What do we
guys?
got?
I like
going.
what you do there. I like what you do there, Rick.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so we got
Gotta-
some more dead. Last week we
gotta
opened up with some
promote your
Deadpool.
sub channel here for a bit there.
Last week we opened up with some Deadpool action. This
Mm-hmm.
week, some more Deadpool in the news. Tell us about it.
Basically, this show was going to air on FX. It was an animated feature involving Marvel Television, Fox, FX, and Donald Glover of Han Solo fame.
And the Lethal
Childish-
Weapon films. I
No,
love
no, no.
those.
No, that's his son.
Childish Gambino. The Childish
I'm just kidding.
Gambino.
I'm just kidding.
And he actually made a
His
cameo.
brother too, I believe. Him and his
Yeah,
brother.
him and his brother. They were in charge of this feature right here. And apparently FX just pretty much told them, thanks, but no thanks. We're going to pass on this. And there's
more. There's
there-
more to it.
There's a theory going on that Donald Glover, his brother, were pushing for too much freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess because of the Disney-Fox merger that's about to happen, I think Disney's trying to keep this character in a way that's not going to be so offensive. And as you can see from this previews right here, it was going to be pretty out there.
Yeah.
So being a cartoon, they wanted more freedom to exploit the character and show pretty much what other
Right.
characters cannot do, basically.
Now, this is one of those situations, if I can butt in,
Yeah, go ahead.
where I totally see both sides of the argument here.
Mm-hmm.
From a fan's perspective, Mr. Glover being an obvious fan, he wants to remain true to the character,
Yep.
which the character is a rated R type of character with
Yep.
crude humor and whatnot, fourth wall breaking, all that good stuff. All the stuff that the character is loved for.
Oh, yeah.
But both Disney and Fox know they have a huge license. This is probably the biggest breakout character in the comic industry in the past, a couple of years.
And thanks to the movie, of
Yeah,
course,
since the
yeah.
film came out. So now the cartoons is probably their way of cashing in on the character by not just the cartoon, but whatever merchandise they sell off of the cartoon. I'm talking about toys, and I think that's what the corporate
happening.
But see,
point
but
of view is, but I want to see real Deadpool, not a
See-
kid's Saturday morning cartoon Deadpool.
the problem is, he had his own movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, it wasn't his own movie. He came out in Wolverine Origins,
Right.
right? It bombed. Nobody liked that Deadpool version at all.
Of
so
course.
nothing happened from there.
Mm-mm.
They've had not his own cartoons. I think he's came out in like Wolverine
Just
versus
comics. Yeah.
X, superhero Hulk and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
So Deadpool has come out in animated series, not his own show, but he's been debuted. Still hasn't hit it big.
Right.
What hit big? His own movie.
Yeah.
Right.
That was, that's their cash cow right now. They want that Deadpool to continue as long as they can. I can
Yeah.
see how Disney
Mm-hmm.
wants to cut back now and say, like, you know what? They're trading light water here.
Hold that thought, dudes, because I think we're gonna go offline. If
Uh-oh.
I'm seeing that correctly. Yep.
Uh-oh.
And we're offline. Our audio's still on.
Yeah, audio's still going. We'll go with audio for a second. You want to just
We'll just go full screen on
Yeah,
this.
we could do that.
So we're still
So,
looking at some
here-
Deadpool here.
supposedly this was like a pitch, right? Danny Glover, Donald Glover, and his brother were writers, producers for this animated series that was supposed to be released for FX, like Pancho said. And I guess they got to a point where they were already developing story and they were going along with it. This thing that you're seeing here was actually the actual voice of Ryan Reynolds from the actual movie. So they just inserted those clips into this little
Dialogue
short
that he
bit
already
here,
had.
right? To kind of basically showcase what it would look like, what it would feel like, and you can see some of the humor with the the crazy fighting skills, the the verbal, everything put together basically kind of showcased this is what we can do.
Yes.
And so they were going along with it. And then at some point, FX basically canceled on them and said it was due to creative differences.
Oh, yeah.
And basically kind of pushing the blame on Donald, saying that he wasn't going to have time in his schedule to work on this. He tweets back, I believe it was Twitter, saying just, setting the record straight, I had plenty of time to work on this. And he created a 14-page final script,
Oh, man.
kind of basically saying, if I didn't have time, how could I do this?
Exactly.
And so he kind of threw it back in their laps, kind of in their faces, saying,
It's like balls in your court.
exactly. So, it's kind of like an up in the air, really why. I could see how Pancho was saying that Disney had some kind of push in this.
I think they just wanted to save face and kind of push the blame onto Danny Glover or Donald Glover. And it backfired on him.
It definitely, because, as enjoyable as the movie was, there's a lot of limitations, physically, real life stuff that you can't do. And in an animated series, you can go beyond that limit.
Mm-hmm.
And if they kept the style plus the voice acting, if the actor himself was down for it, it would have been so amazing. It would have been funny. It would have been edgy. I'm sure they would have had a lot of censoring, a lot of they had to watch some of their stuff that they were going to say or do, but it would still be cool. I would have definitely watched and binged on that show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
It seems like it would have been cool. The little tidbit, the little
we're back.
preview that we got, it looked very interesting.
Yes, it did.
I'd like to take a moment to remind everybody you can check us out at Digital Game Time.
Oh!
You take a shot at home. if you're playing it.
DigitalGametime.com.
Family friendly. Shot of OJ.
Shot
There
away.
you go.
That makes it worse because he's free now. Colombian necktie.
You just walk up to him and just.
The juice.
You know what movie I
The
saw,
juice is
guys?
loose. What
This
did you
weekend? Bam! I saw
Me
Ready
too.
Player One.
You didn't.
I saw
You didn't
it.
even finish your little. We cut you off.
Rant. Oh, now I can hear you. This helps.
DigitalGameTime.com. There you go.
Yeah, so we saw this. I actually just saw that today. Leo saw it when Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. I don't know, dude. I have to say I'm both impressed and disappointed.
Well, we gotta say to everybody, we both have read the novel. We
Yes.
read the novel when it first came out, I think,
Yes.
and one of my favorite novels of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Now,
Rick, you haven't seen it
Leo, I have not.
or read it.
Or
I have not.
Okay.
Or have you heard about it or what's going on?
What
or-
Ready Player One? What is this?
Oh my god.
What is this?
It's the modern day The Wizard.
Oh, okay.
Or Chocolate Factory.
But do they have the power glove?
They
They
kind of
have
do.
a power glove, yes.
They
set.
kind of do. Yeah.
I'm set.
Mhm. Yeah.
No, I mean, yes, I am. I'm kind of like you, Francisco. I'm kind of, in a way, disappointed, but in a way, I'm also very understanding
Yeah,
of why
yeah.
they had to do that. Why they had to change a lot of what they changed that was in the book. That's not in the film.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it was true to the book, they would have had to have this be a Netflix series of some sort.
Mhm.
It would have been very long.
Yes.
You know, but it's not. It's a 90-minute film, I think, and they had to kind of rewrite so that the essence was still there.
I think
but
it's close to 3 hours actually. Now that I think about it, because it was pretty long.
the film,
Yeah, I think it was at
No.
least over 2 hours and a half.
Rick, what's the running time on
Go
it?
check, Rick.
I think it was like
I'll
an
be
hour
back.
and a half to 2 hours, somewhere in that range.
Two
But
and a half
anyway,
at least.
it's still, I think it was really, really well done. I'm
was.
surprised that they were able to pull it off, because this is one of those films that, as I read the book, I was thinking to
It's
myself,
all imagination.
if this was a film, this could be almost impossible to pull off. Forget the whole thing about them grabbing the sponsorships,
Mhm.
right?
2 hours and 19 minutes.
There you go.
There
And
you have it.
counting.
219. Wow.
It was
Snap.
pretty long.
Oh,
It
snap,
felt pretty
son.
long. There was places where I felt it could have been cut, but I mean, I enjoyed it all the same. Like Leo was saying, the book covers certain aspects of it that, due to licensing, probably could
Right.
not be translated into film. Especially the last bottle.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the pinnacles in the book where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this, you know?
Right.
And it's really cool. And of course, I guess they couldn't get the licenses to those characters that show up in the book. So they did something similar,
Right.
yet very different. So in the end, the ending of the movie, I was very disappointed with how they ended.
Yes, that's actually one of the things I was thinking about as I was watching the film, because in the book it's a very, very satisfying ending. It's very like relaxed, like coming back down to real world. It's a very important moment, very engaging moment, and whereas you juxtapose that to what you see in the film, what you see in the film is like a very rushed,
Yeah.
like
Like,
I'm
oh,
here,
and we're
let's
done.
do it, sign the contract, and there's people, there's
Yeah.
big crowd, and this and that's happening. No, I gotta kiss the girl, and it's like all these things are
It's really
happening,
rushed.
and
It
it's just
felt really
really
rushed.
awkward looking.
Mhm.
Even, I mean, things can be awkward in real life as they are,
It's
but
kinda like-
even within the fiction of this film, it still seemed kind of just awkward.
I know, because it just feels like they just cut it. Like, all right, we don't have any more film. This has to be it. Like, you
Yeah.
know, it kind of feels like that.
I
It's
wanted that last scene.
Mhm.
The scene that's
Yeah.
in the book, I think could have been in the film,
Mhm.
where they go to what's the second creator's name?
I can't remember. But
forget
yeah,
his name,
The
but
partner's house.
The
thing.
partners. They go to the partner's house, and there's like a big scene there
Mhm.
in the book.
Yeah.
Read the book; it's really
The
good.
book is really
If
good.
you saw the movie, you'll still love the book. It's
So
really
I
good.
guess without spoiling it, is this open close done movie just one part, or are we looking at like a Lord of the Rings kind of treatment?
I think it's, as far as the story of it goes,
The
it's
conflict that we're suffering
pretty
is
much
done.
done.
Yeah.
It's done. But Hollywood.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know, these writers
I mean,
are very
the
talented. They
the
can figure
novel
it out.
itself was the movie, so there was
Yeah.
nothing,
Nothing left.
Mm-mm.
no cliffhanger
No.
to
Mm.
continue.
Oh, no.
Who's to say, like, yeah, what you're saying as a Netflix series, Ready Player 2, and now it's like a
Hey, that-
spin-off,
Yeah.
or
You heard it here first. Copyright. We should copyright that break.
and
that's actually
just
pretty good.
it's like a spin-off, well, not so much a spin-off, but like a continuation,
Hmm.
somebody else,
Yeah.
or
Speaking of continuation, and we don't have this in our playlist, but it just reminded me of The Matrix. We talked about it a few weeks back, saying that they're trying to reboot it. Somebody asked the director, it's like, hey, so who are you going to cast as Keanu Reeves'
Neo.
character? And he's like, well, if I were to recast Neo, I will cast Keanu Reeves on it. So basically, he's saying that they're not rebooting the Matrix. They're doing another story within that world. Neo is still going to exist as a character. So,
but didn't he? Well, then again, he's not the only one. He's
There's tons of fan theories that I've read about this, and some of them would make for pretty darn good new trilogies. One of them was that he didn't wake up from the Matrix. He woke up from a sector within the Matrix. And that's why at the end of the third film, spoilers if you haven't seen it.
So it's like an Inception within the Matrix.
You know how he put his hand out, that little octopus tech thing was following him, and he put his hand out and it just like fell apart.
Because he's still within another layer of the Matrix.
They're saying he's within another layer of the Matrix. So it's kind of like an Inception type of deal. Where he's in a Matrix inside of a Matrix.
Well, that's cool.
And they're saying that the new trilogy could focus on escaping
that layer.
The different layers of the Matrix, because they don't really know how far the rabbit hole goes. Right. And to me, that's just fascinating. I love that type of stuff where it's like something inside of something instead of something, like.
So something like that
Inception.
they're doing in the Matrix is what could be done on Ready Player One.
Read the comments, guys. You see it? You see it back there?
What's going on here?
Oh my God.
Ready Player 3 starring DGT.
That'd be awesome.
Krypton.
So I got to see the pilot, and let me tell you guys, this is the best show that could ever happen to the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Let me slam the brake on that real quick.
Okay.
Slam the brake.
About 2 to 3 weeks ago, we talked about this, and you were just totally like spitting on its face.
Let me just tell you the trailer. The trailer does not do it justice.
All right.
There's a lot of so basically it's about the grandfather of Kal-El, the person we know as Superman on Earth. Basically, his grandfather,
the founder of Cal Berkeley.
There you go. He's a teenager. Well, not a teenager, but it's a young man, and he's trying to find his purpose in life. But I don't know if you guys know who Adam Strange is.
Doctor Strange's nephew?
No.
It's a very common misconception. But he's a character from the DC universe who is kind of like trapped in a dimension, on a different dimension, different planet. And he only comes out when it's time to like fix things in the universe, basically. So this is one of those things where...
Did he come out in Supergirl?
He did.
That was that guy, right?
Yes, there you go. See, Rick knows. Rick is following.
I know this.
So basically, this guy shows up with Superman's cape on hand. The cape that we know of, and he goes and pretty much tells people in Krypton that's in charge, if the future changes, this cape will disappear.
Oh, okay.
So we don't want this cape to disappear because you have to fulfill your destiny. And the reason for that is Brainiac comes back from the future. Brainiac is the arch nemesis of Superman. He's also the person responsible, the villain responsible for putting the city into a little bottle where Kara is from, Supergirl.
Yes.
Kandor, city of Kandor. Basically, that's where the whole show is taking place, in that city of Kandor. That's where like the whole government takes place in Krypton. It's pretty interesting. Let me just tell you, it captured me.
So it was like a reverse Back to the Future where... when they brought
the picture there, you go, exactly, just like that.
I liked how that was done in Back to the Future for the time, but I hate it in other films where they just kind of like straight bite off of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, Rick?
But the premise is really good because it actually reminds me of how they were doing in The Flash at the beginning, remember? Yeah. With the whole, like, if the newspaper headline changes, same idea, and it captured me. And it's actually pretty good. I mean, I thought I was like, who cares about Krypton, right? But so they're doing good things over in the show. So I would recommend you watching it.
Pilot is out, or is
the
whole...
Pilot is out. Pilot is out.
Krypton series premiere March 21st on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, that happened.
So
coming up, the newest movie starring Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yes, we've been hearing
as Ant-Man
that this is the last movie or movies, because part 2's coming out later on in next year. that Chris Evans is going to cease to exist as his character Captain America, and they've been announcing it. They pretty much are saying this is it for Chris Evans.
So they're like officially pushing that he
Chris
dies.
Evans, not that he dies, but Chris Evans already declared that that's it.
Okay.
It's like after Infinity Wars.
But we knew
he's
that,
done.
right? Him and
We kind of had hope that they were going to like maybe renegotiate contracts or whatnot. Nope, he's saying he's done with Captain America. And let me tell you, it's a smart move because Captain America is one of the most beloved characters in the whole MCU. And to go out like that before people are like, oh my God, I gotta watch Captain America 17 now, guys. You wanna go to the theater?
I'll be honest. I read a little tidbit this week talking about his role in picking the role of Captain America, and he was having anxiety issues right before he decided to
I
actually
have to do this for how many years?
And yes, that was part of the reason why it was a big picture deal, many pictures that he had to perform in. And not only that, he knew this was going to be iconic, where his life would be forever changed. And due to those anxiety issues, he had to see a psychologist a few times
I heard that
to be able to deal with it. And he finally, he decided he was...
embraced it.
Yeah,
Well,
he decided he was able to do it, and he did it. And I think
right
this is
here,
kind of
watch.
like his way out right now.
This scene right here, dudes, it reminds me of the first movie when he goes and says, when the captain asks him, it's like, so you want to go kill some Nazis, have son? He's like, nope, don't want to kill anyone. I just don't like bullies. And Thanos is like the ultimate bully right here, It's like, dang. When Thanos' face, they close up on him, looking down at him and going like, what the heck? This guy is strong, like he looks worried. So I'm thinking he's going to pass on the mantle. I'm thinking that Marvel is going to be smart enough to know that the character is going to keep going.
Yeah.
And I want to bet everything that it's going to be Bucky.
Comic book wise,
that's what happens. Yeah.
there's Bucky
Falcon.
and Falcon. Yeah, so there's
From
two
Zero?
there's two no
Yes.
from Infinity Wars. There's two possibilities there, so that mantle can go either way.
All right.
So thank you for your years of service, Captain America.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well.
Every time I see the Avengers Infinity War trailer and this graphic comes up at the end, the graphic up here, I always think, and it's so totally stupid, I always think of the Back to the Future theme playing to it as it's like animating.
All right. I can see that.
Let me give you a little illustration like this, like
Oh, and one
bum
last.
bum 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 para bum 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 bum.
It totally works. It totally works. Well, one last thing before we go on to the next topic. One of the things that I want Marvel to really do with Tony Stark, and they'd be so dumb not to do this, because obviously the concern is that they're going to get old, right? So they're not always going to look like they do now. Kill off Tony Stark and somehow make Tony get his conscience
Into a suit or
like
something?
Jarvis. Just like Jarvis.
I hope they don't
and the
do that.
rest
Does
of
that
his
happen in the
life,
comics?
Not that I know of.
no, but he can do that because he has the smart.
Well, he has
to be able to do that, and this way he can just record lines. He doesn't even have to be on set.
That is
You
true.
know?
That is true.
And
I mean,
Tony
we would
will live forever.
we'd still keep his little humor and little quips and whatnot.
I say kill them all.
Kill them
Let
all.
Kill them all.
Let
I
Star-Lord take over the universe.
I mean,
and he will.
And Thor.
in
Don't kill
reality,
Thor.
as
Kill
far
all the
as-
other ones.
Comic book wise, there's all these different stories and all these different series that Iron Man went through. I think part 3 was it 3 or 2
With all the suits.
with the Nemesis project stuff.
I think that was
Not
2.
Nemesis. What the heck was it called?
Human Torch
No,
is on the screen right now.
that.
Time ran out. Rick.
the
So basically, we
Anyways, what we were saying is that they have a lot of things that they could do. He could have
Yes.
altered his DNA and he could live forever. He can do all these other stuff. But anyways, bleh.
So
Bleh.
Adonis Creed. It has been announced that part 2 is in the works.
Wait, he wasn't
They-
Human Torch, was he?
He's
he was.
He was the remake.
Fantastic
the,
Four. Fan Four Stick.
Oh yes, he was.
Fan Four Stick.
Fan Four Stick.
Yeah, that's how they wrote it.
And he's the bad guy from
Black Panther. Killmonger. So basically,
Which I hear is an awesome.
Oh,
villain.
dude, yes, he is.
I still haven't seen it. I'm
He
sorry,
is.
guys. I still haven't seen
He
it.
is. So basically, they already announced.
Haven't seen it, bros.
the timeline of
That was
Creed
pathetic.
2, and
was meant to be
basically
pathetic.
Ivan Dragon son is making.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, snap,
So-
son.
Yeah.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah, pretty much. He's making a comeback. He's gonna be in the film, and obviously Rocky, and Creed is invested because Dragon killed his father, or even though they had no relationship whatsoever, but blood is blood, I guess, and that's the conflict of the new movie.
You know how sometimes
sometimes
in the real world, in real life, we have these fights that are extremely hyped up.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And then you buy the pay-per-view
Mm-hmm.
at almost $200 a pop.
Mm-hmm.
You set up the party for everybody to come over, eat your chips and whatnot.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep.
The fight starts,
Mhm.
and then it's just over within a matter of seconds.
Yep.
And you realize you wasted your money,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and people ate all your chips.
Yeah.
They did. They always do.
I would love to see this film
Be
end with Ivan Drago's son just killing him, and then fade to black.
So
Just like he's done. Like it's done. Kill the Rocky films already.
he comes out with like a
well,
massive,
this is not a Rocky film.
like a
Leo.
massive
This is a Creed.
right
This is
arm.
a Rocky Universe film. This is a Rocky
the
Universe film.
RCU.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
So
good one. That's a good
So
one.
his son
RCU.
comes out with like a massive right arm
Mm.
and like
Larry.
a regular left arm,
Christopher.
and then ding,
Yeah.
bam, right hook to the temple and just
Yeah.
lays him out.
Yeah, like they're set you up for like a 2-hour long film. The fight starts, boom, knockout. The film is actually 90 minutes long. Credits roll. You're done. No more Rocky movies or
You know how much
RCU
of,
films
you know
ever
you know,
again.
You know how,
They need to die.
you know how
Come
much
on,
of an
guys.
upset like people will
They're good
riot.
films.
People will riot if something like that were to happen.
We need that. We need that with these Rocky films.
All right.
I'll allow it.
All right. Cool.
I mean, I'm no writer, but just a suggestion.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Movie
Time's
ing
up.
on. Get it?
Netflix.
Movie on.
So, did you guys ever
Netflix.
watch the old '80s show? Or
Yes,
no,
I
no,
did.
not '80s. It was before '80s.
Like
it was
60s, 70s.
Yeah.
I watched it.
I'll admit I didn't see them all,
Hmm.
but they're there. I remember
I
little
will
bits
indulge
and
You
Once
just
pieces.
in a
said the
while.
old 80s show. I only
60s,
saw that
70s.
70s show.
No, not that one.
And the 80s
And wasn't
show
there an
was
80s
kinda
show
lame.
actually?
There was.
There was an
Yeah,
80s
there
show.
was. But that
So,
was kinda lame.
When the movie came out, like
But
back in
which movie? I guess what I'm trying to say
Lost
is
in
which movie
Space.
you're talking about. Okay.
Lost in
we're
and
talking
it's
about
not a
Lost in
movie,
Space.
it's a series.
So when the movie came out, what was that, like in 2000, 98, somewhere around there? I don't remember.
It's been a while. It's been a minute.
So it
yeah.
was pretty
It
cool
was 20
because
years
it was
ago.
an an updated version
Mhm.
of
Lost in
that
Space. Yeah.
genre, right? When I heard about this, I was like, kind of a little bit skeptical. Like,
It looks good, guy.
it does. It has the nowadays touch
Mm-hmm.
of all this futuristic stuff and whatever. Because the funniest thing,
It kind of has a Stranger Things feel to it.
It's the Robinsons family.
I remember in on the old show, the '60s one,
Yeah.
they said that all this was happening by 2010,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Yeah.
And of course it wasn't,
Yeah.
and
Well,
it was
Alternate reality
and it was
2010.
and it was their way of seeing the,
The
future.
future.
Back then, which was totally like
not
cardboard
that
cutouts and
futuristic.
whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of that nostalgia thing. Like you go back to it and you think like, man, like this is
The
what people
ideas were
envisioned
good,
back
but
then.
the technology wasn't up to it.
Yeah. So I'm kind of stoked about this. I'm gonna definitely watch.
I'm not
this.
a fan of this series.
Did you ever see
I
the
never-
movie though?
I never really was. I saw the movie. I didn't like the movie.
You didn't like it?
It was good action.
And I mean, it was a fun movie.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I would talk about with anybody.
Mm.
Did you see that Lost in Space episode?
Yeah, it's not like one of those things. It's just kind of like I saw it. It was kind of like, okay,
Well, the
All right.
other reason
I'm
why
done with it.
the other reason why it's a Netflix show,
But
and
this,
Netflix
I'm watching
has
this
been,
right now. This up here, and I'm digging it. I want to watch this. I hope it comes out soon.
I think it's already
I think
out.
it's already
Plus,
out.
that robot looks
Well,
like
it's-
the Guyver.
It's coming out in April. I don't really know. No, we're barely on the 2nd of April.
No,
so I don't know.
April is God of War 4 month.
April.
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 So
We'll see the end right here.
And then
Right
after
here.
April, it's gonna be May.
Original series, Lost in Space.
April
April 13.
13.
There you
Okay.
go.
13.
And the 13th.
That's next Friday. Friday the 13th, guys.
Oh yeah. Netflix killing it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Speaking of killing
Oh,
it. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now.
Oh, man.
And let
Dude.
Mr. Frankie Five Fingers over here
So
take
let me
over.
tell you that Shazam is one of my all-time favorite
Five Finger
characters.
Discount.
I love the
Nicolas
character. I
Marinero.
love the mythology behind it. The whole Greek mythology and all of this behind it. Black Adam is one of the best villains in the whole DC universe. And I see this right here, guys, and what the hell, DC? Look at this suit. This is a muscle suit. This guy did not work out at all. He did not go to the gym. He did not even try. This
What
is
you
just
talking
like,
about? Andrew Dice Clay looks good, man. What is he like? 60
Oh,
now?
man.
Yeah.
He looks good for 60.
This is the guy that played Rapunzel's love interest in the movie.
That's true. Yeah.
Filling Rider's voice, and he also starred in the new Heroes Reborn. And oh man, Zachary Levi. That's Levi. I don't know.
Levy, I believe.
He's one of the most well-known TV hero shows lately, and he was picked to be Shazam. So now everybody is hoping that this is just like a rehearsal. Like, let's see how you look in the suit. We're gonna do like a very CGI version of it. This looks like something bought in a custom store. I mean, come on, guys. Seriously.
Now, I mean, I don't care. I have no
it's like
interest.
a bad Halloween.
I have no
costume.
interest in Shazam. However,
Oh.
I do have to say,
The Rock is gonna be Black Adam. The Rock is The Rock.
I do have to say though, Francisco, just think about it this way.
How?
When we saw Spider-Man,
Yeah.
there was also that time where we saw him like practically with pajamas. I wonder if this was like his pajama version of his costume.
It could be. I mean,
But it still looks like. I think what he's
It
trying to
looks terrible.
say. I think what Punch is trying to say
it
is
looks terrible.
it's obvious that the muscles are fake.
yes.
So even if the outside, the skin is a test or his before professional
Oh,
suit,
man.
the muscles still
This
look.
is what
Yeah.
you would see in a 90s film,
That's
like
what
an
I'm
early
saying.
90s film.
Yeah. It's so bad, DC. What the heck, Warner Brothers? Are you really trying to purposely make this
Looks more like a
look
TV
bad?
show
No,
budget,
no.
not a movie
I mean,
budget.
yeah, look, it's freaking...
AJ's telling us he would rather see
Robin
Rick
Williams.
as him.
It's Robin
Rick-
Williams.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, look at that.
See,
The internet is making so much fun of it. I'm
Ha-
not alone in this.
remember we kind of went along with we did something similar to Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Remember,
yes.
same thing. We were kind of skeptical about the
Right,
suit, but
right.
hey, you know what? Like you said, maybe CG, maybe green screen, all these effects and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, this just straight up looks like this
It
is
looks
it.
bad.
What you see is what you're gonna get.
Oh man,
I wonder about the kid
it
though.
makes me laugh, man. It makes me laugh.
I wonder about the kid version of him. Have they
how
sh-
he's gonna look or
but
who is he?
Or maybe he's a
kid.
kid dreaming about what he would look like if he was Shazam.
Well, I mean, technically, it is like what, like a 10-year-old that has this power, and he turns into this adult. So maybe that's the best he can come up with suit wise. Fake suit,
Oh,
fake
man.
muscles.
I don't
and
know
all.
why that gives me so much joy just to see like that one ugly
Seeing
looking-
DC fail? Is that what gives you joy? Seeing DC fail.
seeing DC fail.
After the
it should be
movie
a
fails it.
hashtag.
Hashtag.
They're gonna
DC fail.
they're gonna auction off or sell that suit
Oh man.
just to get some funds back.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, guys, it's been a pleasure, Francisco. I'm glad to have you back.
Thank you,
Let
guys.
the people know about the merchandising.
If you go to digitalgametime.com/merchandise, you'll be able to see shirts like this one. This is our pride and joy. Actually, Leo designed it. It's a Coco inspired
Not that one.
stormtrooper.
Oh.
It's a Coco inspired stormtrooper because you know Coco is so hot right now.
Coco.
And just like I'm wearing it, you can also be wearing it, and at the same time helping us out by purchasing some of our merchandise. There's more designs and more styles too. Both
For all
women,
ages.
women, men, and children. Yes,
And infants.
and infants. That's correct.
And if you're an alien, you can buy
Then-
it too, as long as you pay in USD.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us once again for another
Joining us.
edition.
Of
Did I get you
digital.
off there? Did I throw you off?
You threw me off there.
For another
Do you have
edition
something
of-
to say, Rick?
No?
Do you have something to say?
No. For another edition of
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us for another edition of DGT Live. I'm Leo along with
Rick.
and
Francisco.
enjoy your games and love your families. Till next time, ciao.
It's Daddy's Game Time.
Remember to check us out at digitalgametimes.com, as well as Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, all at keyword Digital Game Time.